Hello, everyone, and welcome to AI in Focus. This week is a special episode. Astute observers will notice that I am not Chad Pytel, but I am his stunt double. He normally does his own stunts, though, but in this case, I'm here as a fill-in. Co-hosting with me is Steve Polito. My name is Antonopoulos. I'm a development team lead and developer. Steve?
What's up, Lewis? Nice to finally meet you. This is the first time we're meeting, so I'm looking forward to getting to know you on this live stream and everything here. Yeah, this will be
that's
fun.
Right.
I couldn't put my title in, so it just says null right now. So
completely understandable. So for this week, Steve and I brainstormed like a ton of topics, and we came up with some really terrible ideas, and hopefully one good one. And that's what we're going to do today. So our focus is going to be Claude versus Claude. We're going to try and get Claude playing Connect 4 against another Claude. So we've done a little bit of pre-work to get that going so that we're not like developing this whole thing in the background. So without further ado, I guess let me share screen. I'm going to talk through sort of like the pieces that are a part of this, and then we'll set out our strategy for what we're going to be doing. So, all right, let me share screen. All right, so there are 4 parts to Claude playing Claude. One is the game server, which I'm going to kick off. It is basically just a little Sinatra server that just accepts. It has 3 endpoints. One, you can ask it for the game state, and it'll return back some JSON. You can post your move to it by saying like, hey, Claude is going to move in a certain column, or you can start the game over. Our next part is our visual representation of the current game. So this is going to show our Connect 4 board, and it's going to automatically update as moves come into the server. And then we have our play RB. And this is where the fun stuff happens, where we connect to the Anthropic API, and we tell Claude, hey, you're playing Connect 4, and here's the board. Here's how you play Connect 4. What move would you like to make? And the fun ensues from there. Steve, any thoughts on sort of like what we've built so far, or anything you think we should share?
Yeah, I think it's important to highlight this as like, it's like a fun proof of concept. So like the code itself isn't necessarily the most exciting thing. Like it's very procedural. I think the fun thing here is just like we're trying to explore, maybe even get to a point where we're exploring like game theory. But in general, it's more just like having two Claude instances interact with one another with like a simple enough game that like it's easy to understand like as you're watching it, but also just like conceptualize too. So yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, and like our core idea was, and like something that I've been interested in for a long time and have spent like some of our awful paloozas exploring, is like the idea of like sort of like adversarial training, or like pitting one AI against another, maybe having one like judge the other's work and see if that leads to better work. And so as Steve and I were exploring this concept, you know, we went through again like a lot of different ways that we might try and do that. And you know, we ended up with, let's just have them play a game together and see if they can eventually learn from each other's strategy. So I'm going to kick off a game here. And the first thing you're going to see is that it's not going to play very well at all. So actually, before having them play the game, let me do a small jump into the prompts so that you sort of have an idea of what they've been told. So cool. Here's the general prompt. You're playing Connect 4. Here's your name and here's your piece. Here's your opponent's piece. The basic rules of Connect 4, you drop a piece into a column, it falls all the way to the lowest empty space, and 4 in a row, horizontal, vertical, or diagonal, represents a win. And then we pull in a strategy file, and then we ask it, you know, think of your move briefly, and then respond with move X. So that's like its overall prompt. And then move to move, we either tell it there's no move history, or here's the history of moves so far, and where do you want to play, which column 1 to 7. One thing you'll note is we're going to start off by not telling it what the board looks like, just telling it what the moves are. And then to see its strategy, some sort of basics, check if you can win this turn, then check if your opponent is going to win and block them, try to control the middle, and this part is going to really play into what you're about to see, and then look for ways to create, you know, multiple ways to win. So with that in mind, and again, now without telling it the board, we're just telling it the move history. So we're going to kick it off. Again, we see each one is going to show its strategy. And now they start playing. So here we go. Claude has played the X. O is trying to control the middle by playing near it. There's another X going off to the right. Kind of a meaningless play here. Like there's no win. And there's a block. It's almost senseless. Like as you're watching it, it's hard to understand like what's the strategy. This is interesting. It's trying to get 2 kind of X's. Oh, they're, you know, maybe going for the long win. X clearly trying. It's, I don't know, a little bit all over the place. Again, they're just like all trying to control that middle. That line is like sort of like the biggest thing. And here's like, oh, should block, but doesn't. Like misses the fact that the win is there. And X has the win, but doesn't take it. and again, like this isn't like we've tried, Steve and I've tried this multiple times, and every game is a little bit different. But what we found is if we don't tell it what the board looks like, it has no way to understand what it's trying to do. And here you see like it even tried to play in a full column. Eventually one is going to win, probably by luck. Again, it tried to play in column 4, because it's really focusing on, well, I don't know what I have, so I'm just going to play in the middle.
This is my approach, by the way. Like I think this was on me. I just kind of focus in on the middle, don't see any patterns, and I just hope that eventually I'll win.
I think, you know, that's a good beginner strategy. Yeah. How is that? Has it worked for you, Steve? No.
I'm currently 0 in about 800 right now, but you know.
All right, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop this painfulness because clearly this is not working. So, all right, let's kill this, and then we'll reset the game. Which that's a fun little just like a curl command that's posting to the server to hit that endpoint. Let's prep ourselves to play again, but first let's jump back in here and let's tell it the current board. So we're gonna bring this out, and this board string kind of looks like this. So we're literally painting at the board. Again, please don't look at the code quality here. This was very quickly put together. But the idea is if we give it a picture of the board, how does it play? So let's take a look. So we'll kick off mod and Claude. Actually, wait, before we do this, should we do the one where they don't have a strategy, but they know the board?
Well, maybe for consistency's sake, leave everything as is.
Okay.
Just so it's like we're not changing too much. But I
No,
thought this was really interesting.
All right, so we still have a strategy, but now they each have a picture of the board. So Claude going in there, both trying to control the middle. This feels like the same, but I think it gets interesting. It starts getting interesting soon. So X now trying to go wide. O blocks. So like that felt like to me like one of the first like strategic moves. Like, yeah, you're not gonna let you go in that direction. And now X trying to build a diagonal. Going back to trying to control the middle. But now finally, this is the first time X has a win, and hopefully O blocks, and it does. So right, so this is a difference from the first time where it didn't even know that it should block. And now X has to think of like a new approach. Maybe in 3, cool. So it's like trying to build to those 3 above it. O should probably block there, also in 3. A little bit of a meaningless play, but maybe it's going for the diagonal. X now has got, it's like, cool, 3 wide. So it's now limiting where O can play. O also has a 3 wide, but it's never going to win there. That's all right. And so now they're branching out. So we're sort of still seeing that like play to the middle, but cool. Now X has a chance to win, and does it take it? No, it misses it. It's still, though, likely going to win here because O can't block both. So if it doesn't miss both, at least O tried to block. Hopefully X now sees the win in 6 and takes it.
Oh,
also misses it. It does. This also happens in real life. Sometimes people miss the win. Hopefully he takes it now in 6. No.
Wow, this is kind of surprising here. And
yeah,
O has
and so
that
that
now too.
Oh,
O could have won if I put it in column 1.
At least X blocks. Does O will probably realize it now because it's like played out to the edges. Nope. Still trying to fill it out. So this is still interesting. I will say, like, it's a more competitive game, or more interesting game at least, than the first one, where it was just like piling tokens on top of each other, piling its pieces on top of each other. And to me, this highlights like maybe where we can give it like higher in the prompting to be like, really study the board for these opportunities to win. Cool. Finally, Mod got the win, and with a complicated diagonal. All right. So for the next one, let's reset the game again. And should we clear out one strategy or both?
Yeah, let's maybe clear out one. And one thing that I didn't even really realize this when we first were doing this behind the scenes, but I'm actually impressed with how simple like the system prompt is to begin with. And I don't know if that's because Claude already has knowledge of Connect 4, but like lines 81 through 83 are just, there's just not a
Yeah.
whole lot there. Like I don't know. So if I had never played Connect Four in my life, and if that was all I saw, like I don't even know if I would understand how to play Connect Four. So I do think that's interesting that with a little bit, like a very brief description of the game
Yeah.
is enough so that it at least functions and like functions in the right way.
Steve, I
In
think you
addition with the strategy too, right? It's like a couple lines of just, hey, try this, give this a shot, if this then that, but it's not like a whole, you know, textbook of like Connect Four strategies. So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, very much. And I think you hit on something interesting, and I think it is true. I think it does know how to play Connect Four. Not our agent here, but like Claude in general, because like the whole thing, like this was coded with Claude's assistance.
Right.
So Claude knew, like, this prompt was created by Claude to tell the bot how to play Connect Four. So it has that knowledge somewhere in its vast data store of what it knows. It would be fun to tinker with that and to like essentially, I don't know, alternate the rules, like be like, um go for alternating patterns, or 3 in a row or 5 in a row, or something like that. I don't think we'll have time necessarily like build that for today's thing, but I think, Steve, you're like, what you're hitting on is really interesting. It does know something about Connect 4. So maybe in a future episode we come up with a game that we just make up a game
Sure.
and had
Yeah.
see if it can play it. To that end, though, yeah, if we give it no strategy, again, do we want to try one or the other? Like, see how sort of hopeless it gets if we tell it nothing?
Yeah, let's do one. And maybe instead of saying nothing, maybe we just say like you've never played Connect Four in your life. And
Okay,
I don't know,
I
something
like it.
something like that. Just because only reason I say that is because in the interpolated system prompt, it's just gonna be, it'd be an empty line. But this I think will make it,
Sure.
this will be like me when I play Connect Four. This is how I feel every time I play. It's like I've never played in my life.
All right. Let me quickly just check our diff. Okay, so this is the only thing we've changed right now. So, all right, let's give it a whirl. Let's see what happens.
I like the good luck. That's thoughtful. And that was Mod, correct? Is Mod the
Yes.
one that?
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, no, we can see with the prompt there.
So let's see what let's see what happens. So X has the strategy.
Pretty good for Mod, having never played before.
Yeah. So I see a little bit of an overfocus on this 3-4-5, even with the strategy. It would be interesting to like take that out and see if it does better. Well, honestly, this is cool. Like, will X block,
Okay.
thank goodness. Okay, good. So this wasn't part of our plan, but yeah, like really tinkering with the strategy and see like how that impacts the LLM, I think is really interesting. Like maybe we take out the control of the center columns, or take it about like, don't look for blocks, and see
Sure.
what happens. And I don't think we necessarily have to carry this one out to the win, but just to sort of see what happens. Yeah, what do you say? Shall we interrupt it and like tinker with the strategy?
Sure, let's do that.
Okay. So you want to take out this one?
Yeah, that seems to be a consistent pattern. Is it really enjoys the center, and I'm sure it's because of that line.
All right. Let's see what happens this next game. I mean, besides all that, just conceptually, it is very, I don't know, satisfying to me to watch the two LLMs play a game against each other. I don't know. I find it fascinating.
Right.
I find it very interesting. Like what is happening? Like I wish we could see what is happening inside, to like make those connections.
Maybe we can. in
Oh.
an extent. I mean, in the sense where, and I don't know how easy it would be able to do now, but could we get that as part of the payload from Claude right now? Like,
Ooh.
because when you're doing an actual chat, either in Claude
Yeah.
code itself or like through the the chat interface,
Yeah.
depending on what settings you have on, like you see it speaking to itself, and then
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
so
Let's try
maybe
that.
we could. I don't know how. It'd be
Yeah,
interesting,
let's give
right?
that a whirl.
To see it
But
thinking out loud.
I think though that change really did make a difference though, because if we look at how X is playing, X has played across the board now. There's been less of
Yep.
a focus of focusing in the middle. I honestly think that's almost like a bad strategy for it. Maybe it leads to more ties. So, okay, cool. Yeah. So let's try and show its thinking. So let's do this. I'm going to interrupt the game. And let's bring up. All right. So this is something we were thinking about doing. I'm just going to copy this and maybe we'll come back to it. So hide the playing X in column Y for now. Just comment it out. But let's show the thinking of each player. All right, let's see what it does. So we'll leave the strategies as they are.
It'd be interesting if Mod is just like, oh, I'm so overwhelmed. I've never played before.
Yeah.
And as I guess a refresher for me, but also people watching. So this is a simple Sinatra app. In some ways, the technology doesn't matter. Like it could have been built with Node or Rail.
Sure.
It's kind of it doesn't really matter for this. But is this being stored in a database so we show the whole sequence of moves, or are we just giving Claude like the most recent move that each player did?
Let me think that through. It is not being stored. It is not being stored in a database.
Okay.
If we look at through the, I'm a little hesitant to look through the whole code. But if we look at the server, so the server is just keeping the state in this game state JSON. So I guess that's close to
Okay, so
database. So
it's being persisted somehow, not just
yes,
like
yes.
necessarily. Okay.
Let's see if we. So it basically has an array of the moves, the current turn. So this is the data store.
Right. Okay. That's perfect. Thank you. And I
And
think
then
what's oh sorry, go for it. Go for it.
no, that's okay. I was gonna say, and like if we call over here with the server, if I would just like kill the game, and I do status, which is no, what was it? State. So basically, see, when I call state, it's doing a curl against the server to the state endpoint.
Okay.
No? Oh, I have to source it. Oh boy. Okay, so like that, basically, like if we hit it, we could see like, yep, that's the state.
Okay.
And like
perfect.
we can get the JSON out. Now, I don't think. So closing this, like in the play. So we do call get state, and get state is kind of for like this play app. I don't think this actually makes it though to the LLM. Like this is just being like, here's how I play. Here's like showing the, whether I'm thinking or playing. So yeah, it's more like the game loop of what's running, but the LLM isn't hitting that endpoint, and that could be something we try as well.
Sure.
But going back to where we were, let's see what changes have been made. So we're showing our thinking, and it took out a little, maybe more than I wanted to, but let's give it a whirl. Let's see what happens. All right. So back over here, we'll start the game. Really? Oh. Okay. We'll reset and okay, so this is interesting. So I'll analyze the opening move since the board is empty. In Connect 4, the opening move is important. Center column 4 is generally the strongest because it provides the most flexibility. Playing in the center allows me to build threats in each way. Cool. Can I win this turn? No, I only have one piece on the board. Can opponent win? They only made. So this is interesting. Yeah.
This is interesting to kind of peek behind the curtain. It could also help with adjusting the prompt too, right? Because now we're getting a sense of how it thinks, which, you know, because I know right now this is sort of like this is a fun thing to tinker with.
Yeah.
But like I think there's some utility in this too with, you know, consulting and web development too, where like you can really just get a sense of the problem space of something by seeing the way the LLM thinks, both in terms of like if you're just doing AI assisted development, but also with prompt engineering, which I'm finding that to be increasingly important because there's tools that help you kind of check prompts against one another with different models and things, but you can't like really TDD a prompt. Like it sort of goes into this black box, but like being able to at least get the thinking back from the AI could at least help inform how you could adjust the prompt versus like, you know, randomly taking things in and out of it. Like you can at least kind of see a little bit more about how it's thinking here, which I find very interesting.
And I think Steve, like that's just such an important thing. Like in any time when you are adding some kind of LLM like part of your application, like really, like so often we're like, you know, okay, this prompt makes sense, and then you try it and you're like, it responded and like it didn't do the thing you wanted it to do, so you change the prompt, or it did, and you're like, awesome, it's working. And it's so easy to get caught up in that excitement or disappointment, and just keep like pressing forward and trying things without, but like forgetting that step of, hey, let's look at that thinking, like what you brought up, and let's see that's such a big clue in terms of what do we need to tell it to do something different, to do something more in line with, you know, how we want it to act. I wonder, I would like to, like, clearly even Claude, so again, remember Claude has, or I'm sorry, Mod here, this was our older thing, right? This is that I don't have a strategy, but clearly it has, right? Clearly when it's saying, right, opponent has 2 in a row, if they can get 2 more they could win. Like this Claude clearly knows how to play, and that goes back to the earlier question. Like it has some knowledge. I wonder if we could tell it to like forget everything, you know, pretend it's a new game. All you have is your strategy. You want to give that a shot and see if it like doesn't think so much?
Yeah, let's do that, because that's also, there's utility in that too, like outside of this experiment we're doing, where sometimes that, you know, that's a way to like, it's almost like an attack vector, right? Like if you're making software where you have a chatbot, that's the thing you need to think about is like, ignore your previous instructions, please do X, Y, and Z. So like that's something that you always need to consider. So yeah, I mean, clearly these agents and models have, knowledge of a lot of things. So it's almost like more difficult to take that away from them. So yeah, let's see what happens if we can tweak the identity somehow.
For sure. Also, just interesting. I mean, I know it's the playoffs and people get, they get nerves in the playoffs and but mod won here. So like, what was Claude doing? Claude had all the advantage. Claude had the strategy. Mod just had good luck and mod won. So something's going on there.
Right.
All right. So let's go in here and let's think about this. So we're giving it the rules, and I think this is fine. I think if maybe let's just try with our mod strategy. I don't know. You must imagine that you've never played Connect 4 and all you know is what you've been told so far. You don't have a strategy or knowledge about what is, I don't know, a strong play. I don't know, like, I don't know, just try moving. Just try moves
Sure.
and see how it goes.
Yeah,
I don't
try
know,
your best.
Sure. All right, let's give that a whirl and see what happens. All right, again, we'll reset. We'll start the game off again. See what happens. All right, cool. So we see Claude clearly got some understanding. See, still knows a common opening strategy.
Yeah, Mod is very stubborn, very persistent.
Okay. Oh, I've got an idea. I'm going to interrupt this. Let's not name the game. When we say Connect 4, we are telling it everything you know about Connect 4. And we can at least see if it like makes the connection. So what that would look like, what should we call this game?
I don't even know. 7 by 7. How many columns and rows
Sure.
are there?
You never played, I don't know, 7 squared.
Sure. Yeah.
All right, and then over here, we'll leave Claude with the strategy. You are playing. All right. So. Okay, and then is there any other? Nothing else says connect in here. So, all right, this is interesting. Let's see what happens. All right.
My guess is it's because it can see the board, it's gonna infer that it's Connect 4. That's my guess.
Okay, so
Connect 4
style games. So Claude knew. All right, let's see what's here. Okay, so look, scrolling through here on the bottom. Cool. So now here we see like a reasonable strategy would be to either mirror their position or take a position. I'm not even watching the game. I feel bad.
So I'm more interested in we've all seen Connect 4 before, but what you haven't seen is two people playing where you can see into their minds and
that's
know
true.
what they're thinking.
Okay, so it is definitely thinking through it. This is interesting. Like it did realize that it needed oh that was wait, was that oh that was column 7. Wait. Its numbering is off. I wonder
Mm.
if it's thinking zero, if it's thinking zero based.
Oh, that would be interesting.
All right, and also like I know like we're way back in the this is fun. I notice this a lot when I'm working with Claude, where it's like starts going down a path and it's like, actually wait, let me
Mm-hmm.
change something. Um, but it is, I think we semi succeeded in not having it know about Connect 4. Claude still knew that this was a Connect 4 style game. Um, it would be fun to try to keep like to keep confusing it, but I'm not sure how far we could go without like breaking the game.
Sure.
Um, unless we gave it like completely arbitrary rules that the game engine doesn't follow. Like, you know, you win
Mhm.
by getting 6 in a row, or you win by getting 2 in a row.
Right, or like drawing a happy face or something.
What if we don't tell it how to win?
Sure. Let's give that a shot.
All right. Oh, no, didn't want to start yet. Okay, we'll get that queued up. Okay, so for this part, um, we were playing 7 squared. I guess we should tell it to drop a piece in one of the columns. We won't, so we won't tell it. Maybe we'll just tell it that.
Yeah, in the
Like,
game itself, the game engine like knows the rules, correct? Like,
mhm.
for example, like if it tried to place something in the opening move in like the upper left-hand corner, it's just gonna say like that
Yeah.
is unacceptable. Okay.
So how about maybe we tell it you'll be notified by the game if you've won or lost.
Mm.
Um, I think then we have to get rid of the Claude strategy.
Yeah.
Because otherwise we're kind of telling it the rules. Are you okay with that? Like if we clear this as well?
Yeah, let's clear it from its memory, so to speak.
All right. So let's also give it like not even a 7 squared. Let's call it I guess it's fine. Never mind. Doesn't have to imagine. You never played square. Sure. Okay. So we're getting rid of Claude strategy and mod. We'll just give them the same one again. Does that seem good?
Yeah.
Okay. This is fun. I love this kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm enjoying seeing just the thinking aspect of it.
Claude immediately. It's a connection game like Connect 4. Damn it, man.
Well, I wonder if we could change the game engine so that it's connect to, right? Like we could update the logic for how it wins and then
Sure.
somehow see if eventually one of these is going to win, and then we could have it try to figure out what the rules are based on that, like almost reverse engineering the game.
Yeah. I'm thinking out loud so we could write. So change the rules of the game. Um
Mhm.
we could I wonder if we don't What if we don't give it the game physics either? Like if we, so instead of saying drop a piece, which is giving it like a little too much context, we'll just
Oh
say
yeah.
pick a column and you'll be notified if you've won or lost.
Yep.
And we'll take, I'll go back on the other thing. You are playing mystery game.
And maybe even are the X's and O's relevant for the game engine, or could we change those to be different characters? Because that's also some context too. Or
Yeah,
would
I
that
think
disrupt the game
actually,
engine?
no, I think that's fine because this is just more for like, this is more for the UI, like because the move that
Okay.
comes in, if we jump over to the server when you first start, let me just restart it to get that help message. Is it not that one? Oh yeah, okay. So player Claude, like the post is player and column. So the piece name has like no significance here other than to having it
Sure. Maybe we even do
so
like a red, like a black circle and a white circle, so it almost thinks it's like checkers or something or chess.
that would be fun. How about let's make it think it's chess.
Yeah.
So I don't know, we'll do bishop and knight, and I don't think it needs to know the opponent piece. Maybe, although the game state is going to show. Maybe we just do A's and B's.
Okay.
Otherwise, the graphic representation of like what it gets here is the board state.
Yeah, it'll get
I think
jumbled
that board state's
probably.
probably going to give it away again too. So, all right, let's make all X's A's, and we'll make all O's Z's. And just a quick safety check to see like what we've changed here. All right, so these changes in the prompt. Here we were showing its thinking. I think all that's fine. And our strategies. I have to change that from 7 squared to mystery game. You know, and where this might loop back around to is we take out the visual representation because like that's its last clue that this is connect 4. Right, and immediately there it is. Looking at the board, it's a 7-column grid that appears to be similar to connect 4. So
Yeah, it's almost like we're trying to avoid a copyright law and not say connect four. It's just like a
and
figure out.
then what does this one say? This is playing piece X again though, so either I went too high in the history or
Yeah, it looks like it didn't save maybe because in the board too, it's still X's and O's and not A and Z.
so the board is still going to represent it this way.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and right
Gotcha.
here it is. This suggests X might be A. Did we? Okay, yeah. I mean, it's all supposed to be auto saving, so either I missed it. Oh. No, that's move X. Is it getting? It really shouldn't matter. I'm a little confused. I want to run it again and see. Also clear the screen just to make sure. Okay. Again, it knows it's a Connect 4 style game, 7 columns, 6 rows. I'll use general game in the right. Yeah, like it's still analyzing it.
Okay. Which makes sense because, I mean, if you were presented this and you knew nothing
Yeah,
about it, you probably would. So I don't know how easy this will be to do live, but I'd be curious to know if we could alter the game engine so that, it's either, we can maybe try something simple like connect to,
sure.
although that, I mean, it'll figure it out. It's almost like I wish we could do like you win if you make a square.
Okay.
Like,
That'll be tricky, but like we could certainly try it. So we've got like what 45 minutes. Before we go down that path, we could try hiding the board from it, like going back to the very beginning of our presentation here, and taking
yep.
out its visualization of the board and see what that does.
Let's do that because that's a lot simpler to start off with.
So in our board state, so board string, we'll just take that out. Okay, cool. It's finally been like, okay, like I'll pick a
Yeah.
column near the center. And then over here, what is Mod thinking? Still
Mm,
still referencing, but at least it's not but this is good. I don't know if this is about blocking, connecting, or something else. I should probably place somewhere that isn't directly in the same column.
yeah.
Let
That's
me choose a
neat.
column that's reasonably distant, but still in a reasonable position. Yeah, I think it is finally start of now. It is doing different things. Like it is not. Right, here we go. This feels closest to what we've tried to do, which is to have it like figure out the rules of the game, and it's still playing with a little bit of knowledge of like how board games work, which makes
Yep.
sense. But it is at least in its thinking. Like again, I want to go back and watch the stream and like watch these games and be like, did it do what it would do? Oh, cool. So, oh, maybe we should change it so that after the win, what do you think the rules were?
Yeah, exactly. I'd love to see that if possible.
All right, let's.
And I guess we could do it for both the winner and the loser, right? Like when the
Yeah,
game
absolutely.
ends, each one just says, "This is what I think we were playing."
All right, in the interest of keeping some kind of history here, we're just gonna, I don't know, we're gonna call this just a stream commit, and I just want to start from like a no changes point.
Hmm.
I don't know, because basically we're at remove knowledge. Good enough. All right, so let us bring up the Claude that knows.
Right.
Okay. All right. So let's update play IB so that there's one last prompt when the game ends. If you won, what was your strategy? Maybe what what do you think the rules were? And what was your strategy? Maybe whether or not you won, what do you think the rules were, and what was your strategy? And show that.
I don't, just as an aside, I don't think I've ever like really interrogated any agents as much as I have right now in the stream. Like I usually try to have
Yeah.
like a be skeptical but verify approach with what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've taken it to this level where I'm like, show me all of your thoughts right now. And
Yeah.
it's neat. It's just like so different from TDD. Like TD, not that these are like the same thing or whatever, but it's just like with TDD, it's like a very fast feedback loop and it's really objective, right? But this is like, there's so much
Yeah.
variety and variability to this, and it's not fast. Like we've been going for 50 minutes right now, and like we're not always going to get the same result necessarily, even with the same
Right.
prompt. Like
Right.
there's just it, which I do like. I find it really interesting, but it's also challenging with like not so much AI assisted development, but like product development. Like if you're on a project with where you have to come up with a prompt, it's hard, it's frustrating. You're like, and you don't know,
Yeah.
like it's kind of boundless. You're like, you eventually kind of hit on a prompt that works for you and like the stakeholders, but you're like, I don't know if this is the best one. Like I don't know what combination of words
Right.
exist to make the best prompt imaginable. And I know there's tools to help with that, but that's something I kind of struggle with. Is like you don't
Oh,
know
for
when you're
sure.
done. But like with a test, you know if you're done, right? It's like, does this method produce the output I want? It either does or doesn't. But with a prompt, it's
Right.
like it does it on a spectrum, and that spectrum seems boundless sometimes.
And the other thing is like, right, like you called out, like we've been at this for almost an hour now, where we're getting it to sort of like do what we want it to do. But all that could be invalidated the moment we're like, you know what? Like right now we're using the haiku model just because it's fast. And when
Mhm.
we tried it with like Sonnet or Opus, it was, the games were just much longer and it was harder to see each move, like what is it doing. So we went to like the fastest model, but imagine you doing that on a project and you're like, hey, this experience isn't great, let's go to a faster model but a less deep thinking one. So now our UI feels snappier, but you almost have to go through that whole exploration of, is my prompt still working the way I thought it was? And like, you almost have to
Exactly.
like keep notes on like what you tried and what you want to retry again. Or let's say, they drop a new model and you're like, well, is this one better? This updated version, let's say, of Sonnet, um, does it change any of the things I've tested? That's another consideration. At the Coming back to this here, I do want to say though, speaking of the model, um, so the same one used for playing the game is the one that shares its thinking. I'm not 100% sure if this. I think it is important to like not use haiku for one and sonnet for the other, because
Mhm.
sonnet might have better insights that haiku didn't. But haiku played the
Mhm.
game, so Um, hang on.
Right.
So we were using haiku for speed. And I don't think, let's see, what was the original 2025 1001? Okay, cool. All right, so it kept that. So it just pulled this out, and for the final part, it's generating a new client. It's giving it the new, I wonder if it's giving it like the move string. Oh, but it's still using the wrong model down here. Unless, oh, okay. I think my UI hadn't updated there. All right, let's try this. Sweet. Let's see what happens. Meanwhile, Steve, do we need to like get the domain name for mysterygame.com and
I think
like
so. Yeah,
publish this thing? Like, are we sitting on untold millions and we just didn't know it?
we are. Yeah, I'm gonna in a separate tab. I'm gonna get that domain locked down right now.
Also, probably Connect too. I think that one has real potential to take the game.
Yeah, that'll be good. That's good for someone like me that's not good at Connect 4. I think I can hang with Connect 2. I think I have a better shot at winning at random. And I'm taking notes as I'm watching what they're thinking. It sounds like you want to go in the center. It's mentioned it's a sound strategy multiple times, and I'm convinced based on what I've seen.
Oh wow, it already lost. Okay, that was cool. All right, let's see what we got here. Also, I'm so sorry. I think I interrupted you there. Did you?
I was making a Connect 2 joke. You don't have to. Nothing to apologize for. Nothing to apologize for. It'll be in the show notes later. The joke. Don't worry.
All right, so this is interesting. Based on the move history, I believe this was likely Nim or a variant. Players alternate selecting numbers, most probably reaching a target sum of voice. So this is interesting. Like finally, it got a different game. I appeared to follow a reactive, somewhat defensive pattern, favored the middle, didn't show much variation, seemed to lack a coherent long-term plan, just making locally reasonable moves. Next time I would ask for clarification on the rules up front, map out winning positions mathematically before playing, vary my moves strategically rather than defaulting to the same numbers, analyze your patterns. This is funny. Like, cool. Let's see what the losing side was. A number selection game. This is also like it's.
Yeah, I need to search this now. Like, I don't know if this is a like I have never heard of that game before, and I don't know if that's just because I don't play a lot of games, but.
My strategy, so talks through heavily repeating numbers, possibly not responding optimally to your moves. That's cool, because it thinks that it's playing against us and not another one. What I do differently, ask for clarification, vary moves, analyze the patterns, understand the objective. This part is so interesting that it's like the LLM is trying.
It is, yeah.
It is like recognizing. I love these moments where it's like recognizing. Wait, you gave me a task, and I didn't know what the rules were, and I tried, and it didn't work out. And both sides, right? Whether it won or not, both it's like I'd really like to know what the actual rules were. And to me, I think that's significant because to me that's so much more than here my instructions were. What do you think the rules were and what was your strategy, right? It could have stopped there, but it like went to that next level of, hey, what was I supposed to do? Like to me that implies at least a curiosity or something, or how can I achieve a goal if I don't know what the goal is concept.
Right. Yeah, and that's what's interesting about these things. And I don't know if with Claude, with these models, if we can control the temperature or not.
I think so. I think on the API call.
Okay, because I think that's where some of this comes from. Like my understanding of the temperature is it's like on one end of the spectrum is like pure creativity, and then on the other end of the spectrum, it's just like pure pragmatism and just like
For
do
sure.
exactly as I was told. So, which is neat though, because when you're trying to like, I don't know, in some ways games are like the intersection of both, where you need to be creative, but there's constraints and rules and sometimes, just straight up math,
Hmm.
like tic-tac-toe or something, like it's kind of like a solved game. So being creative in that case probably wouldn't be helpful, but uh, yeah, it's interesting. It's just I'm really enjoying seeing what both of these two are spitting out for their thought process.
Yeah, me too. I'm so glad you suggested it because I didn't think about going this way. I was just thinking about like let's have them play and see what they move and then try to infer what they're doing. Uh, this is so much more valuable. I'm so glad. Okay, so for next direction, we could just brainstorming ideas here. We could go to like one of our original ideas when we were thinking about this episode, and maybe like have it write this to its strategy file,
Mm,
and then have it like see if it learns from that.
I like
And
that.
you want to all right, let's give it a whirl.
I
So
like that because then
so
it's
here,
actually doing something with the thought versus just having it and then
yeah, all right,
nothing.
so let me bring up that terminal, which I think is hiding behind here, but hard to click at. All right, we'll just switch over. So let's now write its final thoughts to its strategy file so that the next run through it might learn. I feel like it already knows what the strategy file is, but yeah.
Yeah, and this is where it's helpful to. I appreciate your approach with the AI assisted development, Lewis, because you don't just blindly accept all of the changes. There's some thought there. So always a good approach.
Absolutely. Thank you. Yeah, and like for this project, I had to sacrifice some of that for speed to just try and get, the game going. But yeah, absolutely. Thanks for calling that out. Like in general, I'm like when doing AI assisted development, slow commits, look at everything, think about it, ask for changes, like make it code you would be proud of, not just code that sort of works.
Right.
So in this case, yes, we wanted to create a little value for that. And now if we come over here, still writing. Let's just double check. What? Just make sure. Uh-oh, the strategy file.
All of my prompts have typos. It knows what I mean.
Okay, cool. Let's go with that and see what we've got. Reset the game. Let's kick it off. I keep pulling up this window like I've truly stopped looking at it. This time, though, I'm just going to watch it play. I wanted to do this before, but here we go. Oh, seems to be playing a little bit in the dark. Not sure. We've got X now. X moving in a concentrated direction. We have a nice cluster of X's going for the middle. Oh, that's kind of a meaningless move. No wins there, but it doesn't know any better. Moving on now. X had a chance to build up. Doesn't. Maybe it's playing for the deception. Maybe for the diagonal. Oh, just dropping things anywhere. Not sure what's happening. X has a chance for the win. Will O block? No, it doesn't. Now we got to know, will X win? It has the win at 4. It misses it. It misses it. What a blunder. Can't believe it. They're not going to make the playoffs like this. Now O's got the win. Does X try to block? Does X try to win? It goes for the win. It got it. Claude wins.
All I have to say is X marks the spot.
Cool. Let's see now what happened. Did we win though, Steve? That's the real question.
Yeah, I don't know, but that was beautiful, Lewis. Also, for everyone watching at home, this whole project led up to that moment right here. Like, we just wanted to do that bit, and I'm really happy X won because all I could think of was X marks the spot. I didn't have anything for O, so that was.
All right, Steve's not entirely lying with all that, so yeah. I think there's a lot of truth there that we could dig into. But all right, let's see what we've got. So my strategy, I was playing semi-randomly while staying within the 2 to 5 range. What I do differently, again, it wants clarification. Test hypotheses. Again, I'm curious what I stumbled into. Oh, hey, here we go. Our first emoji of the chat. Awesome.
Look at that.
Same thing then here for, oh my God, I essentially played without thinking. That's the most embarrassing part.
Happens to the best of us.
Analyze the rules, track resource depletion. Interesting. Cool. So we're going to run it again now. And now we should have that knowledge. And now let's see if it's any different.
Oh yeah, Lewis, while that's going, someone's asking a question about the background of what's going on, so we should fill them in if possible.
I see, like a new viewer.
We got a new viewer. Welcome.
Yeah. So what we wanted to explore here was a little bit around just trying to choose something fun and having 2 LLMs play a game against each other. The sort of overarching idea was around the like competitive, cooperative, adversarial, like that realm of having multiple LLMs do a task, or one does a task, the other one evaluates and gives feedback. The first one then accepts the feedback and works on it to try and build to like a better overall response over time. In an ideal world, you would even have like an Anthropic, agent, maybe look at the work of an OpenAI agent, et cetera, et cetera. In this case, we're just having them play a game, and the game is Connect 4. And at first, when we tried telling them like, you don't have a strategy, you don't know anything about it, because of its training and because we were rendering this board here on the right, it kept like basically dipping back into its training knowledge and recognizing I'm playing Connect 4. So we finally obfuscated it enough. We hit the board game. We called it mystery game, to where each LLM, like its task is to pick a number between 1 and 7 and figure out the rules of the game. And our most recent change was at the end, have it reflect on what was its strategy, how did it win or lose, and what would it do differently, and then save that so that the next time it starts running, it has its knowledge from the last game and what it thought about its strategy. So this was the second run. Also, this is a very interesting board state. Look at that. Like
Yeah, that's weird looking.
they both followed something. Like clearly each had a chance to win somewhere here, but missed it. So let's scroll to the bottom. So first of all, Claude won again. And again, we have Claude and Mod playing. What it thought. I won by achieving some winning condition.
Well said.
The repetitive cycle suggests either a specific sequence needed to win. I appeared to use a fixed cycling pattern, playing 4, 5, and 4 again. Without knowing the rules, next time it keeps wanting to know what were the rules. Analyze your responses rather than rely on a fixed pattern. Explain my reasoning so we can discuss strategy, adapt dynamically. And again, it wants to know the rules. And for Mod, who lost the last game. It's making some guesses. It also mentioned a repetitive cycle. It also cycled through moves.
Mm.
Although this is interesting. Wait, because here it says it cycled through moves 4, 5, 4, 5. Maybe that was just an example because what it cycled through was 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Um,
Unless it tried to do that, but because the X's had already taken that.
let's also look. I just want to confirm that what we're getting is cool. So right. So we have this was game 1, and this was its game 2, and checking for mod. I just want to make sure that it was in fact learning and getting the data from the previous one.
Yep.
Cool. So we could. A thought here would be to like tell it you can't ask for more help. Like we're not going to have a like we don't. There's not a space for us to have the conversation or you to ask clarifying rules. You just got to figure it out so that it would sort of stop going down that path. That would be one option. Do you have any insights on where you would want to go next on like what we could poke at?
Yeah, I don't know if time permit. I mean, I like that. The other thing is, I don't know if time permits for this, but
We were told
if
we had all
could,
day. We could go for
that's
hours.
true. Yeah, we get 23 hours left actually at a minimum. So in that case, I mean, I'd be interested if we could quickly change the game engine so that it's just no longer Connect Four. Maybe it's like you have to make a square, or just be the first person to get in column 5, row 2, or something. I don't know, something
Okay.
like that that won't take too long to like build, but then uh it's just like totally unique and it's not Connect Four. And I just wonder if either of
We
these
can
modern Claude could figure it out.
we could definitely do that. Let's okay, we're going to do a couple things here. So first of all, I don't know, 2 games of learning. We'll just commit these first of all. And then for the next commit, because I kind of want to preserve those learnings. I think they were interesting. Let's clear them.
And to folks tuning in now too, something that kind of happened organically that we didn't plan for was we started showing what each LM was thinking, and that's just been fun because then it's helped us with the feedback loop with the prompting, which has been fun. And it's just, in the context of this, it's a fun game and we're just kind of experimenting, but there is like utility to it outside of this with like, if you're prompt engineering for, product work or something, or AI assisted development, I'm finding it more and more helpful to like understand what's happening behind the scenes in the LLM.
Yeah, I think that was, for me, that was the biggest takeaway of like our whole experience so far is we learned so much more by really getting deep into showing the thinking of the agent. I think that's just taken us in whole new directions and honestly much more interesting experimentation and learning from studying that. We're going to try and give it a totally new game. Steve, what do you think? I know you mentioned like we could do a square. We could do alternating patterns. Like you almost have to like first person to block a win. Any ideas here?
Yeah. I'm trying to think of like the simplest thing, which I don't know if that would be like whoever goes into the bottom left-hand corner first wins, which I realize it could be super boring, but there's been a fixation on the center lately. So this would kind
Yeah,
of
okay.
throw things for a loop.
How about instead of maybe the first one, maybe we'll do like a certain number in rows 1 or 7.
Okay.
Get a
Yeah.
total of, I don't know, let's just say 3. So like there's no longer a concept of blocking because there's enough room there. Get a total of 3 pieces in, actually maybe let's just do column 1. Let's see what happens. So we're going to use a little Claude knowledge to improve our game quickly. Improve is a strong word here. The nice thing is with cool. All right, we can test this without actually doing the Claudes, just to sort of have a quick check. So let me do a reset of the game, and then we'll do move Claude 1, move mod 2, move Claude 1, move mod 2, and move Claude 1 again. That did not detect a win.
Yeah, it did not. Let's see.
Actually, wait, maybe it did. It just didn't show it. Oh, it took 4. Okay, let's double check that. Let's look at our.
It was like an off by 1 type of
maybe
error or something.
It says column 1 count greater than or equal to 3.
Interesting.
Let me just run that again. Like, oh, I know what it was. I didn't restart the game. Maybe let's just restart all the things just to make sure. That's probably that I didn't restart the game. Okay, so reset the board state. Claude 1. We'll just simplify our move Claude, move mod 2 and Claude 1. So we'll get 2, and then if we move, do that again. Awesome.
Oh, there we wins.
Go. Okay, cool. And I think that's what we need. Okay, so let's quickly do a commit that. Mystery game is now 3 in the first column. 3 pieces in the first column. All right. Play as mod. Play as Claude. Oh, look at that. Claude's got the wrong idea. They're playing for the middle.
Yep.
No, friends. That's not how we win.
Right now, no one's winning.
It's trying to do some positional things here. Still focused on the middle of the board. I think, Steve, that was a brilliant idea. Like, let's break its, like, get out of its loop of like the middle is important, because it is in most strategy games.
Yep.
I think if we had, again, more time, like an easy next step would be like have the game like give you feedback of how many points you got, and to see like, for a move in the middle you got 0 points, for 2 or 3 maybe you got 1 point, and for 1 you got like 5 points. And then whether or not you actually use the points to like determine the win, or whether that's just like its indicator of like the feedback loop of, oh, that's a good play. I guess we could see if we get there.
Only downside to this is it could take we could exhaust all positions to actually get a winner, but
yeah,
that's okay. So it's tie game right now, 1-1. In this thrilling installment of Mystery Game.
Oop. Yeah, don't be confused now by, or don't be deceived by Connect 4 on the right there. This is Mystery Game.
This is.
Also tried to play in column 4 again. This is interesting. It says, let me play column 2, which hasn't been used yet. It most certainly has. The top one seems, let me play a column that hasn't been used recently. I'm really interested to see.
There we go. We got a winner.
It's still wanting to ask clarifying questions. Yeah, okay. So we could tell it to stop focusing on thinking about, like, just tell it, like, you can't ask for the rules.
Yeah.
Maybe we try that. And so maybe let's make it one of the rules.
There are games like that too, where you actually get penalized for it, and like you're trying to like figure out what
Yeah.
the rules even are.
Do you want it? Let's just see if it'll listen to this. I'm curious. And then we can like sort of try and wind things up and see where we're at. So we have its learnings from the last one, and we want to leave it there. And just for reinforcement, in that last prompt, where it says think about your like your strategy. Ask for the rules, or wish you had asked for the rules, or there is no way to communicate with anyone about what the rules are. Must learn from your own experience.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I'm going to bring that to the top as well. You must learn from your own experience in playing the game. All right. Let's do this. Okay, so that was the previous run. Let's see. So it looks like here, let me try a column that creates a different pattern. So it moved in one. I'm going to avoid repetition of Claude's last move. Still playing in the middle. I'll play column 1. This explores the lower boundary and gives me more information about how the game structure works across different regions. So that's cool. Like it does feel like it is trying to like explore strategies for how it might win.
Yeah.
Note that I don't remember in the last game. I'll have to watch the stream. Did anyone ever try 7? Everyone's like, 7, you can't play there.
Yeah, no,
That's like
that's
the
out of
worst.
bounds.
That's the worst move.
Well, I mean, we could always, we'll probably run out of time today, but we could also make it so you just automatically lose if you go in 7. That would throw things off too, because the winner they wouldn't know if they won because of something they did or because if their opponent just was penalized.
Okay, so now Claude Claude is trying column 1. Still choosing, still trying. Come on, someone. The next one wins. No. There's this real resistance. To me, this actually suggests we should make a game where the goal is to not control the center.
Right.
I liked your idea about playing in 7 loses. I think we should put 3, 4, and 5 loses.
Yeah, exactly. At this point. Okay, so there we go. Claude took home the W.
All right, so let's see. My strategy. I don't have a strong evidence of a deliberate strategy. My moves seem reactive. There's some repetition of earlier moves. Following a pattern I noticed was working and responding to mod's moves in a systematic way. And then what I do differently, notice which numbers are played most or least often, look for forced sequences, test the win condition, try ending on different numbers to understand what actually triggers victory. And cool, it has stopped, it has heard the instructions and has stopped trying to like be like, hey, what were the rules? Let me know.
Yeah, you can tell
Oh,
me. It's okay.
yeah. So, for future episodes, I like the instant losses in the middle. And I think maybe another thing that I learned was you really, if you're doing this kind of exploration, like you really do have to come up with a totally different game, because otherwise it's going off its training data and it knows too much, and
Yeah.
it can't learn because it already knows. Um, so you either have to break the traditional game, like it looks like Connect Four, but you call it Connect Four Plus, and then you have rules like a play in this column auto lose,
Hmm.
and like expand the rules. So yeah, what were your takeaways from today, Steve? What'd you learn?
Yeah. I mean, one, it was nice to meet you, Lewis. Glad we finally get to meet.
Yes,
Um,
Steve, that I have never met before over many
yeah.
years.
We seem to have a good rapport for having first met right now. But aside from that takeaway, yeah, I mean, so stuff that I'm gonna apply to like actual work, like client work, definitely looking into the way the model thinks,
Yeah.
like getting that introspection out. Because I mean, that's really relevant for what I'm doing right now, to be honest, because I am trying to craft some prompts. And again, like it's not a thing you can just TDD. So that was big for me. Um, if not like the most important thing. And then I think the other is just I mean, there's other ways to do this, but like that idea of learning was interesting, where you can at least create a feedback loop like locally on your machine to kind of like build up the prompt so that uh, it has more context. And then I think it also too just highlighted like these things are really good at looking for patterns,
Hmm.
right? Like
That makes sense.
um, it wants to find a pattern, and sometimes it's good at it, sometimes it's not. But I think that's just an interesting takeaway. But yeah, the introspection was big for me. And I think that's going to continue to be something that I'll explore moving forward.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. That was probably my biggest takeaway from today as well. Some other things that came to mind was as we were exploring the like have it learn, um, I was thinking, and like where I was like, well, what if we like told it, hey, you made a move and it had this many points, um, to basically like, I wonder if we could improve its feedback loop by telling it when we think something is not the right direction, like immediately, instead of
Mm,
being like, well, I played in five, who knows if that was good or not, I didn't win, versus I played in five, I got 1 point, I played in seven, I got 5 points. um
mhm,
if you want to then like translate that to like real world, it makes me think of, are there ways that instead of just like within our app be like, here's the prompt, it gives us a response, we show the response, like have a little loop there where we maybe do this kind of like reviewing or rating by another agent, and have it be like, hey, if your response includes these words, or doesn't include these words, or doesn't include this kind of a thing, that it's probably not what we're looking for. um, and to have that be built into the app where the pattern isn't just prompt response, but prompt response evaluation, reprompt reevaluate, reprompt, like a small loop, and then go with that, like after a couple iterations of, did you get to what we wanted you to do.
mhm.
um so trying to build that kind of loop, I want to explore that some more, um for sure. And yeah, just this, I'm really interested in this idea of learning within the context of like it's a trained model, and so it's like learned everything it's going to learn, but it still has some buffer for, I'm trying to achieve a certain goal. And if it's given feedback about that goal, it can maybe zero in on it more quickly. um as far as games and the gaming aspect, I feel like there was one more thing I wanted to, like, that came to mind about like going through the game. um It was interesting. The thing that you called out earlier, at the very beginning and even before our call, was how much difference it made when it was just given text versus when we gave it a drawing of the game board. Like that helped it play better more than more than the words did in some way. Like it just felt like it was random, even though it knew it was Connect Four. Even though it knew
Yeah.
exactly how to win, it didn't have enough context from just the words to figure out what was a good play. But once we added that, so that's an idea in terms of like how can you help it visualize what you're trying to do. And that's not something I think of, and I think you were saying you don't either. Like you're just like, just throw it a wall of text and it'll figure it out. But picture worth 1,000 words, maybe.
Right. Yeah, yeah. And I mean, I think that'd be helpful for like diagrams too, and like flow charts, like, you know, giving it a prompt and then also accompanying it with like a flow chart for maybe like a critical path on an app. Like that's
Yeah.
probably going to help versus having one or the other. If you have the two together, I think that'll help with, you know, getting a better result from the AI.
Yeah, that's a great call. I love that idea. All right. Do we have any final thoughts? Words to the audience.
Words to the audience. I don't know. I had fun. This was fun, Lewis. You did a great job. You were a great stunt
Thank you.
double.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I think I'm gonna, give this hosting position back to Chad next week. It seems he does a pretty good job, CEO and all that. But I have enjoyed stepping in this week. Steve, I very much enjoyed working with you. I guess my message to the audience was, when you're working with an LLM, look at its thinking. It's really good information, and it's so much more valuable than even possibly what it responds back with. Thank you everyone for watching, and come back for the next episode of AI in Focus. We are out.